main thing on the agenda at the moment is a mini festival that we're putting on in conjunction with our good friends Analog Trash Records, which will be in the end of November.
We said from day one we were producing them together, but we didn't really flesh it out in any way until quite recently when we, funnily enough, we went to the pub and just sort of sat down and thought, okay, we're gonna do something. And then we talked about it for a bit, and then we decided on the back of that we're doing a joint festival, and that's pretty much where the whole foundation thing came from.
They represent the modern Manchester music scene, which I think is a lot more interesting, because I think for years the Manchester music scene, people were going on about the 70s stuff and the 80s stuff. It was Joy Division, it was always Factory, which is all cool, we all loved it, and stuff, but I got a bit bored of the nostalgia element that everyone was always going about Smiths and Joy Division, what have you. And so, what Valentine have been doing for a long time, and also what the modern Manchester and Salford underground is doing, I think it's more interesting because there's a lot more women involved for a start. If you look at all of the, a lot of the 70s and 80s bands, they're all blokes.
Game, one of my favourite games of all time, but yeah. You feel like, no, I'm not.
This is designed to be a sort of weekend of sort of live music, networking, film, art, installation, and good food and good drink. Well, it's about. I think it's completely through the DNA of it. I think it's impossible to put anything on artistically or creatively in the city without really being deeply ingrained within the roots of it. I think you only need to look at the way that Manchester manifests itself in terms of the different venues, the different attitude. I think that is quite unique, really. And we have all these wonderful small and large venues that are dotted around a really quite small city centre. I think that's a big part of why Manchester has this sort of unique vibe about it, because if you look at the size of Greater Manchester compared to how big the city centre is, it's quite remarkable because it's smaller city centre than sort of Leeds, really. And as you've got all these very small pockets of venues that are very close to each other, and you can literally walk across the whole city within about 10 minutes. I think that is what gives it its drive.
We're going to release a joint album as well as part of the festival. So it's going to be a limited edition cassette release because we're really into cassettes, because we're nerds, I guess. And on one side there'll be 4 analog trash bands remixed by 4 Valentine artists. On the second side there'll be 4 different Valentine bands remixed by 4 different analog trash artists.
If you look at all of the different club nights we've run, all the different releases we've done, we've put out quite a wide variety of acts over the years, and they've sort of come from not just Manchester but from all around the world. We've worked with people from everywhere, from sort of Seattle to Melbourne to Berlin to I think the common thread is very much the sort of attitude that we have, and I think that ties into the aesthetics of how we've designed sleeves and posters and flyers, but also about how we've approached, building a sort of sense of community around the stuff that we do.